Welcome to a Total War Warhammer 3 ranked battle report. We have my Lizardmen versus this glorious Empire army. I really like this army. Lots of state troops, just the humble mortal men of the Empire with just a few support elements to help them out. When I played Warhammer 2 online a lot, Empire was my main army, and there's a couple things I really like from this. Like I said, I just think having a bunch of state troops is cool. I mean, look at this, how well organized they are on the hill. And then I really like Balthazar Gelt. I used him a lot back in the day. I love spellcasters, and a fine mobile spellcaster I find very useful. And then the Hammer of the Witches, the Regiment of Renown Great Cannon. I took that, I think, almost every single time I played. I just loved having that reliable damage to large targets that it has. Then he has some good supporting ranged units, 3 regiments of Huntsmen, and then a unit of Hochland lawn rifles. And then he also has a couple Empire Knights out on the flanks here, and out front a couple units of Outriders. And then, yes, a lot of state troops and a lot of spearmen. They're almost all spearmen or halberdiers, so that's kind of bad news for my Lizardman army. I was trying out Nakai. This one didn't go so well with Nakai. I had another match against Chorfs that it went very well with Nakai, but that was a much smaller enemy army that I was facing. So I have Nakai, I have the Regiment of Renown, Cohort of Huatl, if that's how you pronounce it, Sacred Kroxigor, 2 regiments of Temple Guard. Over here I have my 2 skirmishing Chameleon Skinks, the Red-Crested Regiment of Renown, and of course Venerable Lord Kroak, and I'm going with 2 Ripperdactyls in this one. The Regiment of Renown Colossadon Hunters and a regular Ripperdactyl. So obviously I have a long way to go. The Hammer of the Witch is going to start firing, but surprisingly, its first couple shots don't deal that much damage. I think that was just... maybe that was just lucky RNG in my favor. I'm not sure. It only shaves a little bit of damage off the Kroxigors. So I try and get my Chameleon Skinks to deal some damage to these Outriders, which they do very well. They took off like a quarter of their health already, but obviously these Empire Knights are bad news for these poor little Chameleon Skinks. Oh man, they can just trample them. I try to catch them with the Kroxigors, but it's not going to work. Cavalry are just too fast. They go this all-out 4-legged sprint. I love that, but not quite going to happen. Ooh, Gelt using Final Transmutation on Kroak. That's good. Love that spell. So I wasn't sure what to do with my Ripperdactyls because he has so many ranged units in there to ward them off, but when I saw Gelt come forward, I tried to snatch him. And it would have been fantastic, but he reacts just in time, I think, to try and get Gelt out of there. Like, if they had surrounded him, I'm sure those Ripperdactyls would kill him real fast, but he's so fast on that Pegasus, he is going to be able to avoid them, and my Ripperdactyls are going to take a ton of damage from all his ranged units. Yeah, see how fast he's dropping? Oh my goodness, you got to keep him moving, dude. That was close. But he's so slippery with that Pegasus. In any case, these Sacred Kroxigor with Nakai breaking this Spearman unit so fast. Even though they're Spearmen fighting against large targets, that's why you need support elements to help out your Empire State troops. So what's going on back here? We have the Cohort of Sotek gets on top of these Knights, and I'm pretty sure they end up breaking them. They do very well against the Knights, these little unbreakable mace-wielding skinks. But, okay, can't miss this. Okay, so this is one thing I think I did really badly. I think I did badly with Kroak. I mean, I'm not sure what I could have done better with him. I'm sure there's something I could have done to better protect him. Maybe with my Ripperdactyls. They ended up kind of getting wasted. I just kind of kept trying to get Gelt with them. I probably should have split them up and went after some of these ranged units, because these ranged units were just able to annihilate Kroak. So I felt like I let the Venerable Lord Kroak down, and he died real fast. So before he died, I just threw down a couple, Deliverance of Itzas on this melee. That's a big one. So that did a lot of damage. You can see it broke this unit of Pistoliers. Those Spearmen are out. And then before he dies, throw down another Deliverance of Itza, which breaks these spearmen. But then Lord Kroak goes to the great beyond way too quickly. That's the first time I've lost him. Like without losing my whole army first, really. So the Kroxigor are already taking a ton of damage. The Temple Guard are holding strong. This Temple Guard unit just got charged in the back, but they're Temple Guard and they're so tough. They're doing okay. But between all the spears and the range units, Kroxigor is taking damage very, very fast. Finally got on top of the Great Cannons, but I'm definitely running out of steam. Balance of power definitely displays that. So, like, if I had done better with Kroak, if I still had Kroak to throw down a big Deliverance of Itza to break these Halberdiers, that would have been fantastic. These Temple Guard holding 2 units of state troops and an Empire Knights all by themselves, if I could have supported them with Kroak, that would have been fantastic. So, I think this would have been a lot closer if I hadn't have lost Kroak like that. But as it is, it's just about done. Nakai held up well, but he can only survive for so long against all that ranged fire. I try and send him out on his own. I was just kind of scrambling at this point. Come on, come here! He wants to get him so bad. Ooh, he's gonna get him, but he's taking a punishment. These huntsmen, I guess, are not to be underestimated. They're doing pretty good against him. And, you know, well, he's still holding up well, but there's just so much left for the Empire. That nice formation on the hill, just the hill bristling with spearmen, supported by these ranged units, was so difficult to get to. I really like this, just solid defensive Empire play. It was very cool to see. Ooh, he's getting mad now. I think Gelt's pretty much mostly just casting support spells, and that's it. Took too much damage, it's over. So I think, oh boy, that's a good pose for the end. But I'm not too sure how much I could have done in this situation. Like him being so well dug in on the hill with all those spears and pretty strong range units. This army, I'm not sure what I could have done better. Like I said, I could have done better with Kroak. I could have done better with Ripperdactyls, but it's okay. Sometimes that's like kind of the nature of this game. Like as opposed to a traditional RTS where you can make whatever unit you want throughout the game. You know, going in blind, not knowing what your opponent is going to have, it's inevitable that you're going to have some matchups that you're just going to lose, you know. You can try and build the most balanced army you can, but then you're probably going to, you know, there's armies that have a very specific focus that you're going to lose to. So not sure, yeah, what I could have done better, really. Maybe if my Stegodon army would have been better. I could have given him more damage at range, too, and not had to just charge everything up the hill at him. But in any case, it was a good match. Very cool to see this massive Empire army that's just pretty much all composed of standard troops with a couple well-used support elements. Well done.